In this video, we react to Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2, Episode 9. Welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Nerd. In this video, we are reacting to Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2, Episode 9, titled...
Subspace Rhapsody.
Oh, it's the wrong mouse. That's the wrong mouse. Subspace Rhapsody. Josh, it's been a while since you've been here.
Yes.
But you joined us for a very special episode.
I did.
The first ever Star Trek musical.
Which feels weird considering how old it is.
Yes.
Like, we're going like 60 years strong here.
I feel like someone would have had the idea back in the day, especially, it was very musical time in that era.
That's true.
I'm sure someone else was just like, no, we'll wait.
Oh, okay.
We just need to wait 60 years.
Yes.
I'm your dorky DJ, Corey Winter, and joining me, as always, is my nerdy brother, Josh Winter, and our geeky friends, Jason Summer and Christian James. Woo. We got the whole gang back together.
Back.
The original crew.
Welcome back. Welcome.
Jason, how you doing?
Back again.
I'm fine.
I'm gonna go ahead.
It's been a wonderful day.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the joke I was saving for some point. Noonien sing. Ha.
Oh, that's
Ha.
very good. That's very good.
Ha.
Nice.
Probably would have been funnier in context, but
It
I, just,
probably would have.
I wanted to be the first one to say it. So
I butchered the joke so no one else would get to say it.
Yeah.
That didn't even cross my mind. That's good, Corey.
I know, right? So this was going into it. I thought I was going to hate the crap out of this, but I ended up really liking it. Like, it was good. It was good.
It was good.
It was really
Yeah.
good.
It was good. It was well done.
Yes. Like whoever created or like made all the music and then all the lyrics, great job.
It was banger. Like,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. The number one thing I could say is the presentation of this episode demands the best viewing experience you can get.
Yeah.
So especially like on an audio side, like the mix was really good. It's if you don't have any sort of sound system at home, this is one to pull out your laptop and listen with your good headphones. Like it's worth it because it's not, like we said, it's not just a musical. It's a really well done musical. Like this was not something that was slapped together. Like they put a legitimate force of effort into it, and it was really, really, really good. So yeah, if you've got the big sound system at home, listen on that. If you don't, find your best headphones. If you don't have those, find some headphones. Like it's worth it. First off, you should have a good set of headphones.
Yes.
But anyway,
yeah. So reading the synopsis, an accident with an experimental quantum probability field causes everyone on the Enterprise to break uncontrollably into song. But the real danger is that the field is expanding and beginning to impact other ships, aliens and enemies alike.
allies
So,
and enemies.
Jason, would you like to do the thing that you so do well and sum up this entire episode for us, start to finish?
Oh, God.
Ready to go.
I don't know if I did it well. Okay. All right. So the Enterprise comes across a naturally occurring subspace rip in the time, subspace rip in time, and the continuum, and they're checking some sort of harmonics thing. And Spock and Uhura, they run an experiment on it, and then it backfires and hits the entire ship. And all of a sudden, anytime anybody feels any strong emotions, they start singing, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, I feel this thing about you, and I feel this thing about you." People are like, "I didn't know you felt that thing about me." And like, "Oh my God, this really hurts." But at the same time, they're like, "Hey, well, what's going on?" Well, this is actually affecting the rest of the Federation, and in fact, even the Klingons. We actually got some like Klingons singing the rap and stuff like that later on. That was pretty funny. They're like wearing gold bling, but anyway. At the end, it turns out that basically all these relationships kind of came to a head. You got Noonien Singh, and you got Kirk, and you got Christine Chaplin, you got Spock, and then you have the two captains on the two different ships, Pike and I don't know the other woman's name, but they finally got things worked out. And it's all a song is all really wonderful, and at the very end they get all back together. And Uhura's the voice of the Enterprise, and she brought it home.
That was perfect, actually.
Yeah,
That
it's not bad.
that was
Yeah,
great.
well done. Yeah.
So I just want to go ahead and just raise our I guess change our phasers to spoiler.
No.
Yep.
Quit.
So we're gonna talk about some details of this episode. So if you have not seen episode 9 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2, you want to make sure you go watch that before listening to the rest of this video. So
I mean, technically, this is what you should have said before Jason recapped.
Yeah, I know.
The entire
I didn't
episode.
think about it. I'm just it's whatever. So, what are some takeaways? I have a lot of notes, but I would just want to hear from you guys for once. What did you guys take away from this episode? What were some key takeaways? Some key moments.
Well, one moment that stuck out to me is that you knew there was going to be some tension between Nurse Chapel and Spock with her accepting the fellowship.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that Spock acted in a way that I didn't expect Spock to act in.
What?
But he kind of did.
What?
Spock uses logic on all things like that, but he's getting into his emotional side or his human side. And you see that coming out a little bit more. Because logically, he wouldn't have acted the way he did by the end.
Right.
But
he had an uncontrollable urge to express himself. And I thought that was interesting. They layered that into a fun episode. Yeah, so I'll start by saying this very easily could have been bad.
Yeah.
Like, it really easily could have just been a dumpster fire. This could have been the fairy tale episode 2.0. Okay? And that's a comparison that you're going to get drawn. And I'm sure there's still going to be a bunch of people who hate it just on principle. Right. This will probably be my dad's least favorite episode.
I thought it was going to be mine, but...
Yeah, but it was really good. But the most important thing, or the most impressive thing, aside from the fact that it didn't suck and was actually really fun and really entertaining, is kind of what you were saying. They actually used this episode in a very clever way to move a bunch of plot points forward that otherwise I think would have taken multiple more episodes, if not leached over into season 3.
Yeah.
Because remember, this is the penultimate episode. We only get one more episode after this.
And it's a secret. Season. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And so there could have been a lot of plot threads that didn't get resolved because it's man, that fly is annoying. Because it's a thing in television where in real life, people just talk and sort things out. But in television, you have to dance around things for episodes and episodes and episodes and episodes. So, for example, the Spock and Christine thing, the old La'an and Kirk thing, and all this. Man, how are we going to wrap this up this season? Well, we're doing a musical number. What if everyone just was compelled to express what they were feeling, and we just had to move things along?
Yeah,
and that's exactly what they did.
And that was working to the plot as well. They explained that them being forced to sing is causing them to say things out loud that they wouldn't normally say.
Exactly. So, like I said, it's
right. It was a security risk.
Yeah, it was a security risk. And so no, I mean, it was very well executed from top to bottom, not just in the musical aspect, but in the texture and the weave of the entire season. Like, it actually had a job. It had a purpose. There was a purpose behind this episode narratively, and that was to push things to the end.
Yeah,
and it did. And I don't feel like it was a cheat.
Yeah.
Like, it was. Like, it factually was. But it didn't feel that way. So, kudos to everyone involved. Bravo. Hand clap.
Jason, what about you? Overall feelings?
Yeah.
Hated it. 2 out of 5.
No. I'm still sussing it out. I think that's the best way. I'm still sussing out how I feel about it.
Ooh, okay.
You guys already made some really good points. Like the songs and the lyrics were really well written. I think you're right that it did force several plot lines and storylines to get pushed ahead because, that's what songs do when you're in musicals. I liked how they referenced, like, well, when do people sing in musicals? Well, it's when there's a heightened emotion, and that's the time to sing. And so it's like, by all accounts, this is how this should work in this improbability location. I admire the attempt to put it within the framework of a Star Trek universe or galaxy, but still have it be a musical. I think the best part about it is that everybody was on board with it. Like, everybody committed, all the actors committed to it. And I think that's what made it the best part. It's like nobody was holding back. Maybe they did feel stupid. I don't know, but you couldn't tell. I mean, they were in it, and whenever that happens, I think you sell whatever you're trying to sell on a screen like that. So, I think overall I enjoyed it.
Awesome. So before we get into the plot points, let's just talk about, obviously the music aspect of it as a whole. So there were some strong singers.
Yes.
Notably, Christina Chong, who plays Leon Noonien Singh. She was fantastic. She had a
See,
couple
this is where you could have said, and man, can she Noonien sing.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
No,
and then Ethan Peck as Spock. Man, that guy has some range.
And control.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, his solo had those random drops.
Yeah.
In there, he nailed it every single time.
Okay, I want to know how much of this do you guys think was auto-tuned?
I mean, I'm sure they all had help.
I mean, yeah.
I think Mbanga had the most autotune.
Yeah, he purposely
Did you almost hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It nearly
Yeah,
sounded
okay.
Kanye West.
But I mean, he even straight up said, like, yeah, he doesn't sing.
Yeah, there's a reason they only had like 2 lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and let's
Like,
be real.
we
like,
can't fix this.
like, yeah, like,
No.
like sometimes I have a hard time understanding what he's saying, let
Yeah.
alone singing. So
I think Jess Bush's was probably a little tweaked. Nurse
Yeah,
Chapel's.
but let me tell you something. That bluesy number
That was
that
awesome.
they gave her, it fit her
Yes.
perfectly.
Yeah. And I
With
think,
that smoky voice.
and like I said, I think everyone got help.
Yeah.
I don't think there were too many people who like they straight up faked it.
Yeah.
Because like there were parts of Jess Bush's where it sounded exactly like Jess Bush.
Yeah.
And there were other parts where it was just kind of like, maybe not. And so I think they probably had everyone sing as well as they could. And in the spots that just didn't work, they
We'll fix it in
fixed
post.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, because they definitely
Um,
put some rasp on her voice to make to
Kind
go
yeah,
with
kind of
the song.
blend it in a little bit. Yeah. I do think probably Christina Chong. I
Yeah,
think that was her the whole time.
She is a actual singer outside of acting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She has an album. Isn't that what Christian said? An
Yeah,
album or a
yeah.
single or
Yeah,
something?
she has a single out now that she's soon to have a whole album.
But like it sounded like her the
Okay.
entire time.
That's cool.
I do think it was mostly Ethan Peck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anson Mount, I don't know. He also didn't sing as much as I thought he was going to.
He didn't.
No.
He's probably not comfortable with it. He doesn't come across as a singer.
No.
Well, I think if you did that too much with the captain of the Enterprise, you kind of lose
A little bit of
the
respect.
gravitas of his
Yeah.
role.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like he's a chill and like awesome captain, but I think if you would turn him in with a captain, you would turn him into Thor: Love and Thunder if you kept that up too much.
Well, which is actually kind of funny because during the solo, well, not really solo, like the duet he had, like the one song he was kind of featured on, it was cut off abruptly as a part of the plot.
Which was hilarious.
Right.
Yeah. So
Which I was like, honestly, somebody should turn that off. Somebody should stop
Yeah.
that.
Why is no one
Somebody
turning it
should
off?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah, they're both
Yeah.
singing at each other like, hey, we should do this in private.
yeah.
But
yeah,
still
exactly.
keep it
So
talking.
somebody should cut it off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That may actually be the most realistic thing. Like someone's doing something super embarrassing. I don't turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just go on.
Ooh, let's watch this train wreck.
I can't look away.
And then the title
And
sequence.
Uhura was probably sitting in the back going,
No, so the title sequence, yet again, a little twist on the title sequence. It was
Right?
acapella.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun.
oh, the ending credits were also a different orchestration.
Yeah.
Music on the ending credits
Yep.
were also a different orchestration.
Josh was saying that was before the credits. Was
Yeah, it was before the credit. It was as soon as the big finale was done, they slipped straight into the old theme, which was neat. Which they've alluded to it every once in a while musically on the show, but they just played it. So I don't know why they played it, but I liked it.
just because, why not?
You know, do 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 do, like that one. Like, so I don't know why they played it, but I liked it.
All right, so going through some story beats. Let's see. I think probably the biggest revelation was between Noonien Singh and Kirk. Josh was actually in the middle of telling us it was a deep cut, and then like 5 seconds
It
later,
is.
Kirk just straight up said,
Yeah, no, I was so proud of myself. I was just like, oh, like the Leo meme from
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Hollywood movie.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once
Yeah,
Upon a
there
Time
you
in
go.
Hollywood.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the entire episode, Noonien Singh was essentially avoiding Kirk because she was afraid she was going to break into song and express her feelings to him. And it was going to be super awkward. Eventually, they did have a one-on-one where she kind of did confess what had happened with the time travel aspect, and
it was awkward.
And then Kirk spoke up. So what happened there, and how did it play into a deep cut?
So I mean, he basically said, "Hey, I like you a lot too," in that very Jim Kirk kind of way, and then was like, "Oh, but by the way, I got a baby mama."
It's not exactly.
I'm
what it
paraphrasing,
said.
but that's what it was. But no, what he said was that he was seeing someone, and
Carol.
and that is he's right now she's on Starbase 1, but in the Wrath of Khan, she is one of the folks who developed the oh dang it, Jason, I just blanked.
Genesis.
Yeah, the Genesis project, and that's where we find out that Kirk has a son.
I remember her because we went and saw that movie in the theaters.
Yes,
I remember her now.
That's why I was telling you.
Carol Marcus, Dr. Carol Marcus.
It was a shared memory.
Yes.
Man.
He blocked it out. He was trying to watch the show.
So here's the thing about that scene though. In Star Trek 2, he didn't know he had a son.
See, and that's kind of how I remembered it.
He didn't.
So
And I checked before before we started recording. I went and I found the information on it.
Yeah.
And now if you wanted to push it, there's a little wiggle room for interpretation. But my guess is that was not the intent. The intent was that he didn't know he had a son.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a different kid.
So now we're messing a little bit with canon here.
With it maybe
in Star Trek?
No.
Well, you don't know it's the same kid. Maybe this kid
There's that
tragically
too.
passes and then he doesn't.
Or maybe
I'm just saying.
she doesn't want to tie Kirk down, so she tells him
She lost it.
she lost it.
Right.
It's a very Shakespearean thing to do.
It is it's also a very Greek thing to do too.
Yes.
So there's some room for it still to work out.
There is. Yeah. I'm just saying, but right now
It didn't break canon, but it certainly didn't embrace it.
no. And the potential is there
Yes.
to cause another branch in the timeline.
Which Noonien Singh kind of was breaking the rules there about time travel.
1000%.
She said screw it.
Yeah. just like Boimler. No, so that was a pretty big moment because obviously that's been an overarching thing this entire season. Noonien Singh's feelings for Kirk. So that's just kind of done now. Kind of sucks. I was kind of I was rooting for them.
It's not really done because he went around
Let's be real.
saying like, "Hey, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
too."
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, Kirk can be a bit of a dog. It's all right.
Well,
Got a
you
little dog in it.
In all fairness, though, I think he feels that way about every woman that he's come across.
Yes.
Because that's what Kirk
And space
does.
is a big place.
So, I mean, he wouldn't be lying, but I don't know if it'd also be special. I don't
He's
know.
got women. He's got women in different galaxies. It's a different song, but you know.
It's like,
It's like
we
when
can't
he's
go
on
to
the
the
road.
Orion. We can't go to the Orion's galaxy right now.
Oh, let's go anywhere else. Speaking of, that was Pike's conundrum.
Oh, yes, the vacation.
I mean, it's that adjacent. Like he doesn't have multiple women, but with the woman that he is with, he did not want to go where she wanted to go.
which
But
is fun.
they're gonna work it out though. It's fine.
And they worked his cooking into there.
Corey was
Always.
stressed that
Right,
they weren't gonna have him
that's right.
cooking. Yeah.
What, Jason?
And then at the very end,
Yeah.
they had him cooking. So that was good.
What was he cooking?
Squeaked in it. Look
I-
burnt.
Gumbo.
I kinda
Whatever
feel
it
like-
was.
I feel that for me, like I'm not big on like relationships. Like that's not like a big thing for me. Like I honestly, that's not a make it or break it thing for me on relationships and stories like this.
Yeah.
But I am feeling kind of like unresolved, or maybe I wanted more to happen with these relationships than what we're getting. Like with Christine and Spock. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
I
one.
wanted a little more exploration of that relationship.
I think we
honestly.
will.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I mean, what happened in the episode is very like it was very much in character for Nurse Chapel. Was that she's a free spirit,
Yeah.
and She wants to go do her thing, and if she's going to have an opportunity like that, she's going to take it. She's not going to be tied down. To me, that seemed very much in character for her. So her being elated and that coming out in her song, that kind of makes sense.
Tracked. Yep.
Now, initially, she wanted to be gentle to Spock about that, but that's not how it turned out. But still, that was kind of the end of their relationship, I think. We'll see in the next episode. The Kirk and La'an, that didn't work out. And they're kind of teasing that all season. And then even Pike and Marie.
Oh, gosh.
What's her last name?
I never remember.
She's important, but not important enough
Patal.
to remember. Her
Patal.
name.
I didn't get Castle. Patal. And Captain Patal. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's
See, I don't
resolving right for me. I don't know.
see. I don't feel like any of them really resolved though.
But it moved them along.
or
Yeah.
settling or anything.
Like,
I don't know. It just feels.
I don't feel like any doors were
Yeah.
closed here.
Yeah, they're
Well,
well
that's true,
cracked open. Because I mean, I'm sure Spock will come back around to just be like, well, actually, he brought it up before the song happened. He was like, why didn't you talk to me about this?
Mhm.
We went all day not speaking a word about it until I came to you about it. And then
You shut me down musically.
yeah, you shut me down.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel some type of way
She
about
said
that.
peace.
Yeah, and even at the end of that episode, when everybody was done, but they were putting their arms down and they like are cheering, and he like looks at her and was go, nope.
Yeah.
Spock's not.
He was a little petulant. He's a little petulant. I would say that. I was like,
I do like though.
Spock, I expect more out of you.
I do like though that
Um,
right at the end of the finale, he's looking at the meter to see if they're going to make it or not, and he decides that what he needs to do to make sure it gets up and over is to run to the front and join the choreography. Like he did it with purpose.
It's like I must do this.
The crew
Um,
needs me.
Well, speaking of Spock,
The crew needs me.
throughout the whole episode,
and then I will go. Goodbye, Nurse Chapel.
throughout the whole episode, Pike would be like, Spock, will this work? He's like, yeah, sure. Doesn't work. Hey, Spock, will this work? Yeah, sure.
Doesn't work. Spock wasn't exactly batting 1,000. this
No, he
episode.
wasn't.
And he got dumped. I mean, it was just a bad
Yeah,
episode. for
he's
him.
having a
Just-
terrible day.
Can't science, can't keep the gal.
He was feeling as blue as his tunic.
Oh,
But going back an episode, and Josh, you may want to cover your. Have you seen? You saw the Boimler episode. Never mind. You saw the cartoon episode, right?
no,
It's not.
I'm 2 episodes behind.
Okay,
But it's okay.
all right.
Do what you got to
Okay.
do.
Cover yours or something. Okay.
Yeah.
So Boimler
Just take your
points
headphones
out
off.
that Spock is supposed to be very stoic.
Yeah.
And the way that Spock was acting in the episode unnerved him. He's like, "You're not supposed to be this chill and emotional."
Yeah.
And Spock surmised, he goes, "Well, something must happen to get me to the point to where I am stoic." And I think that's what this is supposed to be.
Oh,
I have that feeling.
now I'm sad.
Because he says in his song, "I'm not going to do this again."
Mm.
He says, "I'm not going to allow myself to be this way again, and I have only myself to blame." So I think this is where he just becomes stoic.
Oof.
That's what I think.
Oh,
What a gut punch.
man.
Now I'm sad.
Yeah, I did notice that
I'm
even when he was
I'm sorry.
singing, he was singing without emotion because he was like
Still
he was
Spock.
like still straight face, but singing with like
Yeah.
emotion without
So-
being emotional. It was weird. All right, so I think the last thing we got to talk about is the Klingon hip hop.
Do we have to talk about that?
Yes, I have to
Yes.
talk about.
I mean,
this.
I kind of called it through the episode.
I
I
mean,
was like,
yeah,
it
we
did.
figured it was going to happen.
yeah,
And
there
it
some
was-
kind of rap.
it hit perfectly.
And it was
It
just
surprised the heck out of me.
Yeah.
It surprised me.
Yeah.
I was hoping for some opera, honestly.
Yeah.
Klingon opera.
Klingon death metal.
But
Like that's an established
or
musical
that.
genre.
but that was also
It
a
is.
treat.
Yeah, lower decks. Klingon death metal.
No, I meant the actual what they actually went with was a treat.
Oh yeah. No, I mean like it's, I was okay with it, and it was just long enough.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
maybe 15 seconds.
If it had gone any longer, it would have been dumb.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious.
I mean, it was still dumb. That's why it was awesome.
Like, I laughed out loud.
it's like there was even dancing and like lights behind them. Like,
Right.
It was
Did they have bling on? I could have sworn they were wearing bling.
They did.
Yeah.
They had shiny gold. Klingons, at the very most, they've got brushed metal or something. So
Is there an actor credit for that guy? So I feel like he
I
seems
looked
familiar.
for it. He did seem familiar. I was trying to figure out who it was. They don't have it on IMDb.
Is it General
I checked.
Gargog? Is that Bruce?
Oh yeah.
Horak?
Where'd you find that?
No, I think. Well, is that the same one who contacted them earlier?
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know.
That's the only.
Where'd you find that?
That's the only character I don't recognize. It was on IMDb. Bruce Horak,
Right,
if that's who we are thinking it is.
Oh,
No.
is that? Oh, that was Himmler.
Was it?
Bruce Horak is Himmler.
Corey has to verify. He doesn't just trust you.
Well, no, I do.
Yep, there he is.
That's not who he played in this episode, so that must have been him.
Well,
No.
I mean, he's allowed to play other people. That's actually a very long tradition in Star Trek. Especially if you're
He
playing
did
an
play-
alien, you play
that's who it
84
was.
different aliens.
That's
And
why we
Hammer
recognize
is
him.
quite dead. So
Yes, exceptionally.
So we're thinking that's who that was?
That's who it was. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Good for him.
That's cool. Okay. Yeah.
nice.
What else? Actually, there's so much I could talk about, but just for the sake of time, I think we've hit all the big stuff. Anything else you guys want to say?
No, I mean, it's another one of those episodes. There's not really that much to talk about. You just have to experience it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like from a plot standpoint, I mean, you could outline the plot in like 3 sentences.
I will say,
But-
so there were, I think, 10 musical numbers, if I counted correctly. And there was really only one that I did not like. And it was the,
Kirkin, number 1.
yes.
Yeah, that one didn't.
It's just a little too old school Broadway.
Yeah, it was a very classic.
It had the Oompa Loompa, Yeah. and I hated that. I hate that kind of music.
Yeah.
What's that? Waltz?
Yes, a waltz.
Waltz.
Thank
Yes.
you. 3/4.
There's a
Nice.
flying, like, just go away.
Are you like the fly right in front of my eyes?
Yeah. So no, aside from that one, all the songs, they hit pretty good. And like, they were
Yeah.
all very different.
Yes.
So I thought that was nice.
No, I loved it. Go
Yeah.
watch it.
All right, let's score it. So, as a reminder, and for our new watchers and listeners, we do this one episodically. So we're giving this episode a score from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And then once we have the score for this episode, we average everything together to give us an overall score for the entirety of season 2, as we have watched more and more. So, currently, Josh, you're a few episodes behind. I think we've only had 4 episodes from you so far, while the rest of us have scored, I believe, all 8. So, Josh, after 4 episodes, you were still giving it a straight 5. Jason, you have been at a 4.29 after 8 episodes. I've been sitting at a 4.75, and Christian at a 4.5. So, after this 9th episode now, Christian, well, score just for episode 9.
Just the episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the episode.
I mean, yeah, it was a great episode. I mean, it's like another one of those, it was an episode. But then I definitely enjoyed it.
Okay.
They did Star Trek.
Yeah, they did Star Trek things.
They-
It's very
Right.
much a Star Trek story. But I'll say a 4.
You loser. Oh, sorry. I'm not supposed to say that. Whatever.
Wow. So much judgment. It's not like we do the nerd thing of judging people and telling them they're
Yeah.
wrong about things. We don't do that.
Oh, it's a collective here.
One of us.
So I'll go next because we're not going next because, but going next, period. Because the fact that this should have been something that I despise, because generally I do not like musicals. I think there's like 2 that I actually like, The Producers and The Greatest Showman.
I was going to say Rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that I actually ended up liking this and actually thoroughly enjoyed it, plus the fact that I laughed out loud, plus the fact that it still felt like Star Trek and they worked some Star Trek-y stuff in there, plus we got some character development, I'm giving it a 5. Love it. It. All.
Simp.
1, 2. Wait, did I already type it in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, no. 5. Who's going next?
Josh should go next.
Because Jason's got to wreck it at the end.
I'm still working on it. So just keep going.
Unlike Corey, I adore musicals. I think I've seen all of them.
Even Newsies.
Yeah, all of them. Avenue Q is right at the top.
Nice.
No. again, a weird premise for me. I don't know if I necessarily would have been like, this is a good idea if someone had asked me. But under the assumption that you're going to do it, this was as perfect as it could have possibly been. So I am giving it 5 rapping Klingons out of 5.
There it is.
Nice.
Jason, finish it up.
Yeah. So this one surprised me as well. This one is I'm still gonna be thinking about this one for a bit.
Isn't that the mark of good television?
Yeah, well, or trying to figure out what the hell happened. One of the two. I don't know. It was definitely a lot of fun, and I liked none of the actors when you watched them. It was like, oh, they should not have done that or something. This had the potential to go wrong several times with pretty much anybody in the cast. So I think how they did it with each of the characters and each of the actors, I think worked really well. There were 2 points which I thought and kind of lend itself to the quality of the episode for me. First of all, one was with the David Marcus reference, Kirk's son, and Carol Marcus. The other was, for some reason, when Pike told Uhura that she was the voice of the Enterprise, that hit me.
Really?
Like instant teared up. And I don't know if that was just for, I think that encompassed all of Star Trek. Like remembering Nichelle Nicole.
Yeah.
It was as Uhura, and really just for the last 60 years, Uhura was the voice of the Enterprise. And I thought that was, I don't know, was a really encapsulating statement. And maybe they didn't intend it to be, but that's how I took it. Other than her, the only other person that could say that would be Majel Barrett, who was the actual computer voice of the Enterprise. But in any case, so I'm going to give this a 4.5.
Okay.
Higher than I thought.
Definitely.
Well, all right. So that brings our total for the entirety of season 2 to a 4.63 out of 5.
The entirety of season 2 so far.
We got one more episode.
One more.
We got one more.
And we have no idea what it's going to be. They've been keeping it under lock and key.
We've got to bring it all back around to
Gorn.
Gorn. Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, it's called the hegemony.
They have released a title?
I always,
Hegemony?
yeah, I always struggle with
Hegemony?
that word. Yeah, which is how the Gorn is referred to. It's their plural.
Oh, I didn't realize they released the title of it already.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's about to get real.
Who's going to die?
Are we going to see grown Gorn? Modern grown Gorn.
Say that 5 times fast.
Modern growing.
Is someone going to die?
No.
Because no one's really died this season. Have they?
Well, we got before we make any speculations, let's make sure that nobody didn't exist in some other episode. Make sure everybody's got their plot armor in place.
Oof.
Jason's not
Wow.
salty at all.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, at this point, I guess most people would be, oh no, Ortega's a new character. She's not an established character.
She's too feisty. They can't kill her.
We don't know. Hang on. Did you check?
I checked. I know that one. Yep.
Okay,
She's
okay.
only ever been in Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Mm.
Well, that's my assumption.
I don't think
Yeah,
anyone's
I mean,
going to die.
she's too feisty.
I don't think anyone's going to die.
Her short haircut suggests that she can fight.
Okay. Or they pull a Serenity and just she's sitting at the helm of the ship, and then all of a sudden,
Pole.
They
right
watched
into
the
the
Enterprise.
they washed it.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, we have one more episode of this Day of Reaction video series for Eat Sleep Nerd. So make sure you come back next week to see what we got to say about the finale of season 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. If you have not seen the rest of our videos, but you've somehow gotten this far into it, make sure you go and find our playlist over on our channel, youtube.com/@eatsleepnerd. Jason, are you okay over
He
there?
wants to say something so badly. He's waiting for you to take a breath.
We're going to be able to watch the last episode together.
I won't. I have children.
But he's going to be
Never
here.
mind.
You're going to make it work. You can't miss the
Sure,
last
You're
episode.
going to make it
You
work.
can't miss the last episode.
I think I'm going to have to help Shelby out at the end of the month, so I'm going to tell her she has to preemptively pay me back.
There it is. That's on video. Here we go.
On the internet. Yeah.
So maybe we can watch it together. We'll see.
Are you going to have to bleep out her name?
Nah.
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm sure there's like 7 million different Shelbys out.
Yeah. The most embarrassing thing for her would be mentioned in the same sentences Star Trek.
Oh.
She's not a Trekkie.
Anyway.
Oh.
She'd be a lot cooler if she was, though.
Wow, just putting people on blast here on our channel.
Pretty much
yeah, Corey.
anybody. Honestly, I mean, it's anybody.
Yeah, like,
You'd
I
be
mean, that's
lot
a pretty
cooler if
open-
you like Star Trek.
It's a pretty open statement. You'd be a lot cooler if you like Star Trek.
Yeah, that's true. But yes, Jason, you will be here next week. So for all of our watchers and listeners, make sure you stay tuned to our channel.
Of course, so excited to
for
get it.
our next podcast episode and next week's episode, because Jason will be sitting right here somewhere.
Somewhere in this,
In one of these
over.
spots.
in this
Whatever.
area.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, keep nerding out.